Hey there everyone, Andy McKenna here from Aquitaine Digital Marketing. In this video, I'm going to be exploring what you need to be able to run and sustain a successful CRO program. Let's dive in. Now, when we talk about CRO success, there's one thing that stands out above all else, and that's frameworks. You see, successful CRO isn't about random tactics or guesswork. It's about having a solid structure in place that guides your efforts. So first of all, you need a measurement framework. Think of this as your CRO compass. It's all about tracking the right metrics and KPIs. Without it, you're essentially flying blind. You need to know what's working and what isn't. So let's say you're running an e-commerce site. Your measurement framework might include metrics like conversion rate, but also average order value, add to cart rate, and revenue per visitor. But don't forget about micro conversions too, things like email signups for instance. Tools like Google Analytics, Hotjar or Mixpanel can also be really useful here. Second, you need an insights framework. This is your way of getting into your customers' or your visitors' heads. You need to be able to combine quantitative metrics with qualitative data from surveys, interviews, and usability tests. For example, your analytics might show a high drop-off rate on your product pages. But why is this? This is where user interviews or on-site surveys can reveal absolute gold. Maybe your shipping costs are unclear, or perhaps users are comparing your products with those of competitors. These insights are crucial for forming strong optimization hypotheses. Thirdly, you need a testing framework. This is your game plan for running experiments, and it helps provide a structure for generating hypotheses and prioritizing which tests to run first, and it also keeps your efforts focused and efficient. And fourthly, you need a documentation framework. Now, I cannot stress this enough. You need to document absolutely everything. Your future self and your team will thank you. It's not just about recording test results. It's about building a knowledge base that you can learn from and build on. Create a centralized place where you record everything relating to an experiment. Tools like Effective Experiments are great for this. Include the hypothesis, the variation designs, the results, and most importantly, the learnings. Even losing or inconclusive tests have valuable insights. Maybe that value proposition didn't increase conversions, but you learned something about your users' preferences. That sort of information is invaluable for future tests. Now, CRO isn't just about lifting conversion rates. When done right, it becomes a source of strategic learning for your entire business. Let me give you an example. Say you're running an A/B test on your product page. Version A has a long, detailed product description. Version B has a shorter description with bullet points. Version B wins by a landslide. What have you learned? Sure, you've learned how to increase conversions on that page, but you need to think bigger. This insight could inform your entire product marketing strategy. Maybe your customers value quick, scannable information over long-form content. Could this impact how you write your email newsletters, your social media posts, even your product manuals? Or let's say you're testing different value propositions on your homepage. You find that messaging around ease of use outperforms messaging about advanced features. That's not just a website insight. That could inform your entire product development roadmap. The key here is to share those learnings across your organization. Don't keep your experimentation insights siloed in the marketing department. Share them with product teams, customer service, even the C-suite. You're not just optimizing a website. You're uncovering valuable data about your customers and your market. And here's a pro tip. Use your experimentation program to challenge long-held assumptions about your business. Maybe you've always believed that your customers are primarily motivated by price. Why not test that assumption? You might be surprised to find that quality or brand reputation or customer service are actually driving more conversions. That kind of insight can be transformative for a business. Talking of breaking down silos, let's talk about how CRO plays with other channels. Because successful CRO doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's a team player working hand in hand with your other marketing efforts. Take SEO, for instance. Your SEO efforts might be driving tons of traffic to your site, but if those landing pages aren't optimized for conversion, you're leaving money on the table. On the flip side, your experiments can provide valuable insights for your SEO strategy. For example, let's say your experiments show that pages with video content convert better. Now that's not just a CRO win, it's an insight your SEO team can use to inform their content strategy too. Maybe it's time to invest more in video content to boost both rankings and conversions. And then there's paid advertising. CRO insights can be a game changer here. If you know which messages, offers, or layouts convert best on your landing pages, you can use that information to create more effective ads. It's all about message match, making sure the journey from your ads to your landing pages is seamless and logical and matches the intent of the visitor. Email marketing is another area where CRO can work magic. Use your CRO insights to optimize your email content, subject lines, and calls to action. If you know what works on your website, chances are it'll work in your emails too. But the real power lies in using CRO to improve the performance of all of these channels together. Let's say you're running a campaign that involves SEO, PPC, and email. Use CRO techniques to test and optimize every step of that journey, from ad copy to landing page to email follow-up. When all these channels are working together, each informed by solid CRO insights, that's when the magic really happens. Remember, you need the data and insights from all of these channels to create a truly integrated and effective CRO program. So break down those silos. Get your SEO, PPC, content and email teams talking to your CRO team. Better still, make sure everyone has some basic CRO skills, because in the digital world, everything can and should be optimized. Now, imagine a business where experimentation is baked into everything you do. That's what happens when CRO principles are applied beyond just your website. We're talking about creating a culture of continuous improvement and hypothesis-driven decision-making. And trust me, this is where things get really exciting. Let's start with product development. Traditionally, product teams might spend months or even years developing a new feature, only to launch it and find out users don't want it. Not ideal. But what if we applied CRO principles here? Instead of big, risky launches, you could release features incrementally, testing as you go. Maybe you start with a small beta group, or you use feature flags to show the new feature to only a portion of your users. You can then use the same A/B testing tools you use for your website to measure the impact of these new features. Do they increase user engagement? Do they reduce churn? Do they boost revenue? You're essentially doing CRO on your product itself. But why stop there? Think about customer service. What if you applied CRO principles to your support processes? You could test different scripts for your support team, different layouts for your help center, or different strategies for handling complaints. The goal? To optimize for customer satisfaction and resolution times, just like you optimize your website for conversions. Even your internal processes can benefit from experimentation. HR could test different job descriptions to see which attract the best candidates. Your finance team could experiment with different invoice layouts to see which get paid faster. The possibilities are endless. The key here is to foster a mindset of experimentation throughout your organization. Encourage everyone to form hypotheses, test them, and learn from the results. Make it safe to fail, because in the world of experimentation, there's no such thing as failure, only learning. And here's the really great part. As this culture of experimentation takes hold, you'll find that your organization becomes more agile, more responsive to change, and more innovative. You're no longer relying on senior executives to make decisions. Instead, you're letting the data lead the way. Now, none of this happens without support from the top. You need a champion in the C-suite, someone who can go into bat for CRO. Whether it's your chief digital officer, chief marketing officer, or another influential exec, their backing is crucial for embedding experimentation into your company's DNA. Why is this so important? Well, let's face it, organizational change isn't easy. You might find resistance from teams who are set in their ways, or from managers who don't see the value in testing. That's where your senior champion comes in. First off, they can help secure resources and budget for CRO initiatives. Want to invest in a new testing tool? Need to hire a dedicated CRO specialist? Your senior champion can make the case to the rest of the leadership team. They can show how CRO ties into broader business objectives and demonstrate the potential ROI. But it's not just about money. Your senior champion can also promote the importance of experimentation and data-driven decision-making across the organisation. They can lead by example, asking for test results before making big decisions. They can celebrate CRO wins in company-wide meetings. They can even tie CRO metrics to performance reviews, really embedding it into the company culture. Your senior champion can also help break down those silos we talked about earlier. They can bring together leaders from different departments, marketing, product, tech, customer service, and show how CRO can benefit everyone. They can foster cross-functional collaboration and ensure that CRO insights are being shared and acted upon across the business. And here's a pro tip. If you don't have a senior champion yet, start building your case. Document your wins, show the impact of your CRO efforts on key business metrics, and don't be afraid to shout about your successes. Sometimes you need to create your own champion by demonstrating the value of what you do. Remember, without this high-level support, it's challenging to get the buy-in and resources needed for a truly impactful CRO program. So if you're serious about CRO, finding and nurturing that senior champion should be at the top of your priority list. Now here's a perspective you might not have considered. CRO as a risk management strategy. By testing changes on a small scale first, you're essentially creating a safety net for your digital initiatives. It's a great way to innovate while minimizing potential negative impacts. Let's break this down with some examples. Say you're planning a major website redesign. Traditionally, you might spend months designing and developing the new site, then launch it all at once. But what if users hate it? What if conversions plummet? That's a huge risk. This is where CRO can help. Instead of a big bang launch, you could use CRO techniques to test elements of the new design incrementally. Maybe you start by testing the new navigation on a small percentage of your traffic. Then you might test the new product page layout. By the time you're ready for full launch, you've already validated most of the major changes. You've minimized the risk of a conversion nosedive. Or there's pricing strategy. Changing your prices is always nerve-wracking. Raise them too much and you might lose customers. Don't raise them enough and you're leaving money on the table. But with CRO, you can test price changes on a small segment of your audience first. You can measure not just the immediate impact on conversions, but also longer-term effects on customer lifetime value. CRO can even help you manage regulatory risks. Let's say a new data protection law requires you to add a bunch of new information to your checkout process. Normally, you might worry that this could hurt your conversion rates. But with CRO, you can test different ways of presenting this information to find the option that meets legal requirements while minimizing impact on conversions. And here's a big one. New product launches. Rather than investing heavily in a product that might flop, use CRO techniques to test the market. Create a landing page for the proposed product and drive some traffic to it. Measure interest through sign-ups or pre-orders. You can even test different features or pricing options. This way you're validating demand before you're invested in full product development. The beauty of using CRO for risk management is that it allows you to be more innovative. When you know you can test ideas on a small scale first, you're more likely to try bold, creative solutions. You can push the boundaries without putting the entire business at risk. So there you have it, the key ingredients for a CRO program that doesn't just perform, but truly excels. Remember, it's not about overnight success or silver bullets. It's about creating a culture of continuous improvement, learning, and data-driven decision-making. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's been your biggest CRO challenge or success? How have you used CRO to manage risks in your business? Drop a comment below and let's keep the conversation going. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more digital marketing insights, and please share it with anyone you think would be interested in getting into CRO. Until next time, keep testing and keep learning.